All right, guys, we're back at it here. We got the 2015 Toyota Highlander. We are going to switch out the speakers. The front speakers are terrible. The magnet on there is about the size of a quarter in the back. They're making some crunchy noises and sound absolutely atrocious. So we've narrowed it down to the front ones. We got us some inexpensive Kenwoods here. The KFC, I'm assuming that's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, 1666S. And then we got the metric kits, the adapter for the door, and then the wiring harness there. A few tools we're going to use, and we'll get it going. We'll show you how to take the door panel off. Okay, guys, so there's a couple screws in here. So if you look on your door panel, you have one area here where there's a screw. We'll pop that out. And then there is another one, I believe, behind this escutcheon, they like to call them, there. So you can see the second screw there. So we'll go ahead and take those out. And I believe it's just the two on this door panel. Set that aside there. And in typical Toyota fashion, this one's angled up so we can access it without jamming our screwdriver into the pull bar there. All right, so I'm just gonna take a quick look here. I think that's it. Be real careful with these lights. I've seen where they've broken in the past before, and people try to take them out. You can take them out from the front, but it usually results in them breaking. So I'll try to get under here and just see where, if I can find. There's a clip there. Just putting a little constant pressure on here as I go around. And there we go. I heard a few more kind of cut loose. And I got a variety of tools here. Sometimes you can just put a little pressure on them as you go up. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try to unplug this light before I get too far, because I don't want to put strain on the wiring for it. Actually, let me see if I can get us out a little bit more. And there might be something underneath. Let's double check here. Oh, there's one more screw. So I felt that kind of tugging on us there, so didn't want to go too far. You can see that last screw right there. So I am going to go ahead and unplug this first, so that when I take the door panel off, I'm not waiting on this. So pretty easy there, two little plugs. I'm going to sit that down and get the third screw. That might make things a little bit easier. So we have the two larger screws, and then the small one goes behind the escutcheon that's on the door there. So now, back to, like I was saying, I'm going to attempt to unplug this light. Which the light came out as we pulled it off. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. There we go. And now we should be able to, oh, this one's got to come off too. Sorry, forgot to tell you guys that. So let's get a little piece behind there. See which way it wants to come off. There we go. There we go, two little blue clips in there. Now we should be able to lift up and off, and then just be careful when you come off. Back here you have your cables for your door lock. You can just pop that out and then pull the cable out, and then the same thing with the white one. and it comes out of there as well. So when you put that back on, they just go back in here, come around, and then clip back in. So we're going to set that aside. All right, we're going to put this back on. So fortunately I didn't break it. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is pop out the trim there. There we go. Pop out the trim there, and then I will put the light back together, hopefully the correct way. There we go. Just clip back in there. So we'll set that aside too. So maybe on that one it might be wise to take it out first, depending on which way that was in. I guess if you look at it really closely, you can see there's one clip here, so you would pry it out on that side and then pull the other side out. But we didn't break it, that's the important part. Here is our cheesy speaker. So these appear to be a 10 millimeter or a Phillips. Fortunately, they're not very tight, so we are just going to use, actually it's probably not a Phillips, I'm sure it's a JIS-2, which we have our Vessel JIS screwdriver, which comes in very handy if you're working on any Japanese motorcycles or cars. It really seems to, we'll go ahead and unplug the speaker first. It really seems to help out getting a good bite on those. So we will use our pry tool here and get ready for this magnet on here. So I was telling you guys, that is our magnet, and that is about the size of a quarter. So, all right, so we got the Metra kit here. It's a 828150. It says it's a Camry. Looks like it's going to work. Let's hope this is the right one. Let's see if we can match it up there. Looks like the holes match up perfectly. I think that's going to do what we're going to need it to do. All right, so let's double check which side goes out. I would imagine it goes in like this, because this one has some space on it. So I'm going to lightly put a screw in here to hold it, and just double check and make sure we got this going in the right way. Okay guys, so that is the correct way. So we are going to, I put one other one in there. We're going to put these in here gently. All right, and let's check out our speakers here. So we did also get the Metra adapter. It's for Toyotas. 728104 is the number there. I'm going to check really quick before we get too far along here and make sure that it links up. Looks the same to our original. So let's double check here and make sure that we'll plug in. Yeah, right in there, no problems. So, all right, let's check out our speakers here. Instructions. All right, so we got some hardware and stuff in the package here. Let's see what that is. I'll set this stuff aside. Check out our speaker, which obviously we will not be using the grill. So decent speaker, much bigger magnet on the back there, so you can kind of see. Toyota, it seems, loves to go for very similar size, very inexpensive speakers. So it appears, just matching this up, that we are going to use the screw holes in all of these ear style connectors there. So let's see what our hardware is. Okay guys, so I actually flipped this over. I put it in the wrong way. There's actually a hole on the top for our wires to go through for our adapter. I don't know if you can see that. I was looking around on there. I guess it would have helped to read some instructions, but why would we do that when we can do things twice? So I'm gonna plug that in and pull these through. That'll actually kind of sit in there. I wonder if I turn it around that way. I like the way it sits a little bit better. You know what? I want to, just because I'm weird with things. I want to tuck these up under there and then put those wires through. Let's see. I just want to keep it as low profile. So let's do this and put these through again. Okay, now I want that tucked up under there, and I spun the connector around. So now that can sit in there, and then these wires are up behind there. Don't ask me why, I just kind of like it like that. So maybe it's designed that way, you guys tell me. I don't know. So then there is our wires for our speakers. So what I want to do, to be careful, is I'm going to line these up first and pretty much try to put all but one screw in before I put the speaker in, because those of you that have worked on speakers for a while in high school or whatever know how fun and exciting it is when you go to try to slip off of the screw and jam it into your speaker. So I'm going to do a lot of the tightening first, and then I think we'll put the top one in, the top two in, after we get these in a little ways. So I did look, the kit came with clips to go behind there. However, I notice on this Metra kit behind these holes, it's very thick plastic designed for those to go in there. So these are cool, they plug right into the speaker. So we are going to plug the larger one in, the white one in here, to the wider spade connector. Okay, nice positive engagement there. And then we have the smaller one here, and we're gonna plug it in there. And what I'm going to do is try to sit these, there we go, sit those on there. That'll help it rest there for us. And now we are going to be absolutely careful to not slip the screwdriver off of here and jam it into the surround on the speaker. Not that I've ever done that before. Tighten this one down just a little bit more so we can kind of, it'll start picking everything up and kind of getting it into the location where we want it. Okay guys, and you can see that top screw there, one left, lines up right where we're going to use it. And I really like this kit, pretty straightforward. All right, now we're just gonna tighten those down just a little bit more and not strip out the plastic. And there we go. We'll give it a quick test, make sure we got sound, and then we'll put the door back together. Pretty straightforward. I really like the install. So let's see here. Okay, so we tested it out. It seems to work much better than the other one. So we're gonna go ahead and put the door panel back on, making sure all of our clips are in place and didn't come out. All right, then we're gonna first hook back up our door handle. So I don't know if you guys can see it here. The best way is just kind of put this in straight, and you can just get that and loop it around and then tuck that back in. Pretty straightforward. And then same thing with the lock. Just get it in there and tuck it in. Got 2 clicks and that's it. I used to be reluctant to disconnect these kind of, and then we're going to hook over the top, go up, hook over the top, come down, make sure we've got our wires here. And then I just wanted to double check too. This wire's hanging here, just don't forget about that one. And then it comes right through here. So you get a little bit of play with that, but not much. So we're gonna go ahead, and now that we're there, I'm gonna see our screw lines up here, our screw lines up there, and our screw lines up there. So I have a pretty comfortable that we're lined up. So I'm just gonna kind of go around and gently push. You can hear the clips clipping back in. I'm holding the back of the door and just pushing it ever so slightly. And I think we got it. This has resistance. I can hear it in the actuator assembly. And then same thing with this. I can hear it in the actuator here. So making sure that those work before I get too far along. So now it's just the reverse of removal for reinstallation. So we're going to put the one big screw in here. Not going too tight, because don't forget that is screwing into plastic. These vessel screwdrivers are ambidextrous also, in case you guys were wondering. Okay, so we got that in there. We are going to plug back in our door locks and windows. Listen for it to click. We got one click there, second one, click. And you can see this just has a couple clips there, kind of comes straight up to come out. So it's gonna go straight down and click back in. We're gonna go ahead and tuck the little cover in there. Get our escutcheon back on here. So this one kind of comes out from the back, so it goes in the front and then just push down the back. So if you pull out the handle there, get the front in there, and then just give it a push with your thumbs. Okay, same thing on this one. You guys can see it had those blue clips. So we are just going to get those lined up, holding the outside of the door, two thumbs, and just snap it right back in place. Alrighty. And then we are going to snap in our light. So like I was telling you guys earlier, so the back side appears to be the one that comes out. I don't know, I'm scared to pop these out because it is small, lightweight plastic. So you can see there, you tuck the back in and then it just pops in there. So we are back together and we tested it out already. Sounds good. And fixed our terrible, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's the sound that it was making when you would have any kind of a bass note in there, and that was turned down all the way with the bass too. So very, very cheap speakers. Cheap doesn't even begin to describe this. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped you out, and if you need to change out your speakers, very straightforward. If the metric hits, make it super easy. And thanks for watching. We'll be doing some more stuff on this soon.